There is the city called Sodom. The city, a spiritual city called Sodom. How many of you read the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? Genesis chapter 19. Sodom and Gomorrah is a city. And Ezekiel 16 verse 49 and 50. I'm showing you geographical territory and spiritual reality. And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. So this is the geographical Sodom. Ezekiel 16 49 50. Please note the things I'm telling you. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughter. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. Are you seeing the characteristics of Sodom? And he said, and they were haughty. They committed abomination before me. Therefore I looked them away as I saw good. This was when God was bringing lamentation over his city, Jerusalem. And he was telling them that Sodom had become their sister because Jerusalem had fallen into iniquity. So it's calling a city in the natural after a spiritual reality. Abomination, perversions, pride, idleness. You see people in business, they do nothing. They just fold their hands. They are hoping that one day God will bless them. They are not working hard. Idleness, laziness in business. And the guy is blaming everybody for not prospering, but he's mentally lazy and redundant. Then you see abominations, evil concupiscence, perversion of all sorts, like the gay movement today is sodomy. It's a spirit city. And most of you in the Western world, you know what I'm saying. The Americas and the likes. Sodom has taken over. So every firm, every national event, everything that has to do with influence, they want their colors everywhere. And they are sponsored with multi-million dollars. And what you don't know is that if you are in such territory and you don't know how to disarm those cities, the effect and the influence of the city will rub off on your soul. Now, what's the effect of Sodom? Number one, sexual perversion. Sexual perversion. So you see many people today in the business space, their head is burning with all kinds of abominable acts of immorality. Somebody said he's going for business trip in Dubai. He's going for business trip somewhere. And he has already planned diverse whoredom to be committed, because that's part of in fact, that's what sanitizes the business. So nowadays, you finish a contract, you finish a transaction, there must be a dinner. The whole idea of the dinner, before now, dinner is about networking. But now the whole idea about dinner is to get themselves drunk and get into diverse perversion. And you can't imagine the things people do. Sleeping with strange women. Sometimes they even play games with it. And then women sleeping with women, men sleeping with men, and they say it's business. And nowadays, you can't even get to certain levels of business transaction unless you are involved. So you come to have business with your colleague, with a friend, a business partner. They book a hotel for you. 3 women are already waiting for you there. You are wondering what's going on. It's part of the business. Nowadays, most business deals are concluded in casinos or in nightclubs. I was in Dubai the other time for a meeting, and they told me it's around between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. They do businesses in millions of dollars. When they have danced, they've done all the whoredom. They sit there with hot, very strong alcoholic drink. That's where they do transactions. Like what? Say yeah, that's the world we live in. How do you break through this civilization? Number 2 is pride, excess pride, pride that is meaningless. People literally acting as if they are gods because they have money. And then number 3 is lack of compassion. You saw that he said they didn't have compassion for the poor. So they love it for people to be rich, to be poor rather, because it reminds them that they are bigger. Glory to God. When you get to a point where the more rich you become, the more the ordinary man looks like nothing to you. You love the poor worshiping you. The more you have appetites for abomination, the more your pride overflows. Know that you are under the influence of Sodom.